Well, welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. As you know, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. Today, I'm excited about having my. Hey, I've got some questions for her that's just upside down, backwards, and sideways. Because
That's
I know
awesome.
she's heard it all and experienced all. You all know her. She's actually really famous for the gig she did. I won't do a long intro here. I could, trust me, I got it on this paper. Her credits reads like the who's who. But you all know her. You all know her from the Beyonce gig. Would you help me welcome my guest today, Nikki Glaspie? Hey, Nikki.
Hey, what's happening?
Nikki, how come we getting older and you getting younger? You look younger and younger every day.
It's all the clean living.
Thank you for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've seen a couple of episodes. They're great.
Oh, really? You did?
Yeah, yeah. I love John Paris, man. I love that dude so much. It just warmed my heart to see y'all on camera together.
You just laughed the whole time, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's go towards the drums. Now, you're from Fredericksburg,
I
Virginia?
was I was born in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and then when I was like one or something, my family moved to Maryland. So I grew up in Germantown, Maryland, until I was like 13. Went to Silver Spring for a year, and then I went to Raleigh, North Carolina.
I want to go back and stay with those formidable years for a minute here. You started playing drums at 2 years old, but your mother was a keyboard player.
Yes, yes, my mom plays keys. She still plays every Sunday.
That's in church, huh?
Yep, yep,
What
every
was that
Sunday.
like, being a little kid and mom was playing?
I mean, it was great. She was like the first musician that I really learned, like learned how to play with. And I kind of like got her sensibilities, as far as what's going to happen in the song next and whatnot. So it was really great, growing up playing with her.
How did your parents go about noticing that you could possibly want to be a drummer or was tapping around the house?
I mean, when I was really young, I would pull pots and pans out of the cabinet and start beating on them. And they were like, okay, like she wants to play something. She wants to play drums. So, I mean, I guess it really started kind of in elementary school. But there was a particular moment where it all changed. My like sixth grade recital, I was playing percussion, and my mom saw me, and she was like, "Oh, you're serious about this? Like you're reading and like." I remember getting in the car. She was like, "That was amazing." She's like, "You could beat on whatever you want. You could beat on my arm if you want to." So I think it was then that, because I mean, my whole family, everybody played music.
Let me take you back to high school. What was the scene in high school, and did you get involved in any of that marching corps stuff and the snare
Yeah, I
stuff?
did. I played in every band in high school. If there was music to be played, I was there. So I did the concert band, symphonic band, the pep band for basketball games, which was like one of my favorite bands. I loved it so much. Marching band for football. Um, we also had a jazz band. I was in the jazz band. Then I also played for the chorus. Whatever needed to be played for the chorus, I would do that. And then I also was in the pit when we did musicals. So every single band, anything
And
that
then
had
there
to
was
do with
homework, huh?
music.
Uh,
Yeah, there was homework. Yeah,
I'm gonna jump forward a little bit here. Berkeley College. Read a lot of stuff. What was going on in college?
yeah. I mean, there was a lot going on in college. I mean, like I was just bright eyed and bushy tailed when I got there, and it was kind of like Disneyland. I'm like, oh my god, there's practice rooms. Like I could just sign into a practice room and lock myself in there 4 hours at a time or whatever. I was like, this is amazing, you know. And then I started playing gigs. And then I stopped getting up for class. But Berkeley was great.
What was it that you picked up from Francisco Melly? Mel
Francisco Mela.
Mela. What was that like? And I see it brings a smile to your face.
Yeah, because he's like one of the greatest drummers ever. um, but he's the one that took me to Wally's or told me he's like yo, come to Wally's. I'll get you in. I know it's 21 plus, but you're my student, so I'll tell them to let you in. And I mean, when I walked in there, the music that was happening, I never experienced that in my life. So being able to be around it and be taught by the people that were doing it was really incredible. And just in the sense that he was a Afro-Cuban genius, that could also swing. You know, the caliber of musicianship that was happening on that night was happening on other nights in different genres. So that's really kind of how it happened.
And I can tell you, you definitely have gotten it down. Before I move you to the Beyonce gig, tell me about the influence that Dennis Chambers has had on you. Also, two questions in one. Tell me about touring with Martin Luther over in Europe.
Yeah. So Dennis is probably my favorite drummer. I mean, hands down. But when I was 8 years old, my dad brought home a videotape, Zildjian Day 92. And he said he was like doing pest control at the time. And the guy that he was, whose house he was at, was like, oh, yeah, you said you had a daughter. Like, what does she do? And my dad's like, oh, she loves drums. And the guy gave him this videotape and was like, show this to your daughter. And it was Zildjian Day 92. And Dennis was on that videotape. He was in like a yellow dashiki, playing a yellow drum set. And yeah, I'm sure you know this, but it was like the 2 minutes and 34 seconds that changed my life. Because he's like playing, and then he puts the sticks down. He like grabs the water and he's like drinking. At the same time, he's like, I mean, it's like his feet are going. And then he gets a towel and he wipes himself off. And then he picks up the drumsticks and it's like a blur. Like you cannot see his hands or his arms. It's just like insane. And that was it. I was like, I want to do that. I want to be him when I grow up. And ever since then, I've looked and listened to everything that, he ever did. And just try to be like him. So that's the Dennis Chambers influence. And honestly, getting to meet him years ago and hanging out with him was just like a dream come true. And honestly, like one time I was in Florida and he called me and like I just looked at the phone. I didn't even answer it. I was like, Dennis Chambers is calling me. He left me a voicemail and I was like, I gotta call him back. And then he was like, let me call you back. I got Billy Cobham on the other line. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, Dennis, huge influence. He's like my hero. Touring with Martin Luther was incredible because it was like, that was my first touring experience playing music out of the country. We went to Japan, we went all over Europe. We played the Montreux Jazz Festival. We did a lot, and he was instrumental in my development as well because he was the first one to put a microphone in front of my face. You know, he was like, "We're a trio. I need your voice." He's singing. He's like, "I need your voice. I need you to harmonize and sing with me, because we're trying to, you know, make a big sound and make a full sound." So I definitely owe like my the beginning of my singing career to Martin Luther.
Moving you forward, tell me about having $50 in your pocket and the the Beyonce audition.
Yeah, I mean, it was a leap of faith. I had a lot of people hit me up saying, "Yo, you need to go to this audition," and I thought it was like like for a promotional tour or something. Like she'd use us for 2 months and then like go back to the regular band. Cause like I had seen, she had done that before. Uh, when what was that song? "Work It Out" came out. She had an all female band. She had like Sheila E. and I think Rhonda was playing bass. I can't remember like who exactly was in the band, but she did a couple of TV shows with them. And then when she went out on tour, she had, Gerald and Kern and all those guys, like her regular band that had been with her for years. So, when all that was circulating about the audition, I was like, it's cool. Like, it probably won't pan out to be anything. But whatever. So many people bugged me about it. I was like, okay, I'll go. Because I actually had a gig the day of the audition, and it was in Nantucket. So I had to take a ferry, over to play the gig, and it was for 2 nights. It was Monday and Tuesday. And if I didn't play the first night, I wasn't going to play the second night. And I needed the money. I did. I had $50. I was like, I need to go get this $200 right quick. Like living in New York City. Um, but I went, and you know, 5 years later, I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a real thing. But yeah, I went. I borrowed some money that week. I ate peanut butter and jelly like that whole week. I like camped out on my friend's couch, like feed me. And then the next by that next Sunday, I had the gig.
Staying with the Beyonce gig, what's it like sitting back there? There's a lot of movement, a lot of parts, a lot of you got a lot of tracks under you, a lot of stems under you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. I mean, essentially, I was like a big band drummer, uh, setting up lighting cues and stuff. Like seriously, if they hear me go suck a doom, they know like spot. So there was a lot of moving parts. There was video, there's lights, there was pyro, there was like all kinds of things happening at the same time. I mean, we had an elevator in the stage, like, and trap doors and all kinds of stuff. It was a show. So, um, sitting back there is a lot of responsibility. I mean, there were points where yeah, I'm like driving the bus, and it's like we can't can't deviate. But it's like once you hit that space bar, like it's over. It's you gotta go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They're like, hold on, no false starts. So it was a lot of responsibility, but it was man an amazing experience.
What's it like when you got the cover of Martin Drummer? How did that feel?
Oh yeah, that was great. I was it's kind of like one of those childhood dreams. You know? It's like I did it. I made it, mom. I'm on the cover of Modern Drummer cuz I used to look at them when I was a kid. I used to buy them, smell them, look at them, flip through them, be like, "Oh my god. Look at this drum set." So being on the cover of it was definitely awesome.
playing at the White House. Woo, from a little gospel church to the White House.
Yeah.
If I may ask, who was the president and
Obama.
Obama was, and what was
Yeah.
it like playing at the White House?
It was like a state dinner. So like the president of Mexico was there too. And I mean it was incredible, you know. It's kind of like, again, one of those once in a lifetime things. It's like you never imagine that you would ever be in a position to do that, you know. And actually, I also played for Bill Clinton too. Played for two presidents now at this point, and that was with Shaka Khan. Uh, we played for the Clinton Global Initiative fundraiser or something. But yeah, I mean, there's not many words to be said about that is. I was like looking around like, oh my god, like this is it.
Nikki, did you happen to get yourself an ashtray or a book of mattress or something?
Oh yeah, I got something. Oh
I
yeah,
would have.
believe I got something. Yep, I did though.
Tell me about working with Ivan Neville's. How do
Oh
you
yeah,
say this other word? Dump,
dumpster
dump.
funk.
Say it again.
Dumpster funk.
Dumpster funk. Woo-hoo. What's that
Yeah.
like?
So that was man, that was one of my favorite things that like I've ever done. And one of the greatest things that I've ever could have done was hop in a van with those dudes. Um Ivan is one of my best friends and such a sweetheart. Like a lot of people don't know, he's like one of the kindest human beings I've ever met in my life. But him and Tony Hall and Nick Daniels and Ian Neville and the whole Neville family, really, they just like welcomed me with open arms. There is no city in the United States of America like New Orleans. So the Nth Power is like a group of like-minded individuals that we want to make change and we want to spread love. So that is what we do. And that's the subject matter of our song. We talk about, real life issues, the things that you go through, and we touch on spirituality somewhat, but we're all connected spiritually. We're all connected, and we try to give that to people.
What's Nth mean?
Oh, well, actually, I'm a math nerd, so it's just like exponential growth is what the Nth Power really means. But also, all of our names start with N.
Let's talk about endorsements. What
Yeah,
drums are you playing? What cymbals?
yeah, I play
Going back.
Yamaha drums. I play Yamaha drums, Zildjian cymbals, Vader drumsticks, and Remo heads. And actually, I just started checking out these lowboy beaters. Have you heard of them?
No, I haven't.
They got some cool stuff. They just sent me some stuff, but they make like these specialized beaters.
Wow, is that a brush? Wow.
Yeah, it's like a soft, I don't know, cotton something.
What? And you can get a sound out of that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on like what you're playing, but they sent all kinds of stuff. So I'm just checking these out. I really like this one. It's wood.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
do you
but
and do you use the other side of it too?
no, I don't use this side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
just this side. But it's a lot punchier, which I like. You know, on the attack. So I'm checking those out. But that's it as far as companies are concerned that I can think of. Oh, Roland. I use like some of their electronics.
Cool, way cool. Nikki, we have a thing on the show that we call word of advice. Probably
Oh,
seen
okay.
it or heard of it. Yeah. Where I asked the guests, I asked the drummers if they would leave a word of advice for the up and coming drummers, even the drummers at the next level that are trying to get traction in this business. Would you leave them a word of advice?
Yeah, I would say my word of advice is there is something to learn from everyone, and even if it's what not to do, and that's like pretty much how I've built my career. It's like I see somebody doing something, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, you know. But you learn from that. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You don't have to make the mistake to learn from it. Um, but yeah, also what I always tell young drummers is to play with everybody. Play everything. You know, if country is not your wheelhouse, go learn it. Because that's how you'll work. It's like one of my first gigs I ever got called for was a blues gig. Dude was like, "You know how to play blues?" I was like, "No, but I'm gonna learn." You know, so I went and got me a BB King record. you know, and try to get that shuffle happening. But yeah, that's my advice is to play all types of music because you never know. That's how you stay working.
Absolutely awesome. I said I wasn't going to slip this in, but I have to slip it in. I'm noticing no makeup, just natural and funky. Is
Yeah,
that the way it is, or is
I mean sometimes I'll wear makeup, but I was in my house and I was working before you called me, and I was like, oh man, um, yeah, I just didn't have the time to put some on.
I can't imagine you being a glamour girl. I just can't imagine.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I put on makeup. I used to have to wear makeup every night with Beyonce.
Do you
Every
do the
night.
heels and all that stuff, Nikki?
No, I didn't wear heels because I was playing drums. But if I wasn't, they would have put me in heels for sure.
Nikki, we have a thing on the show. Sort of is the last question I always ask the a guest. Always ask the drummers, what do you want your legacy to be? Like your legacy told.
um, Change. I mean, I just want to use my drumming for good, and that's the legacy that I want to leave behind. Is playing music for the people and really trying to give them what they need. You know, because so many people are walking around not knowing that they're loved or that there's love out there, and a lot of depression and anxiety and all of those things, and I just aim to help. That is my sole purpose, is to help those in need. So that is what I hope to leave behind, and that is what I also hope to inspire others to do. You know, to take this music and do something constructive with it, you know, and not destructive.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let me say thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Thanks for having me, man. This was a lot of fun.
Always wanted to talk with you, and I'm
Yeah,
glad I
sorry,
have the.
sorry it took so long, but we made it happen.
I appreciate that. Would you
Yeah,
help
but
me?
hopefully I can see you when I come out to LA.
I would like that. I would love to find myself standing on the side of the stage, just going.
Yeah, you called me earlier. That was your cell phone.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I'll
lock
lock
me
it.
in. Yeah, lock me in. Let me say
Yeah,
again, thank you so much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
absolutely. Thank you.
Will you help us wave goodbye to all of the fans?
See y'all later.
Welcome to Zildjian Live. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Nikki Glaspie.